everybody, it's Thursday, and you know what that means? That means that I'm on Twitter, and if you've asked your questions using the hashtag KDFAQ, I have searched high and low, and I found them. And I have 5 today, so it's like bonus lightning round. And I have a journal topic, which is really good, and it just speaks to me today because I had a bad day today, right? Okay, so without further ado, I want to get into these. So first question. Is there any way I can see a counselor at my school and tell her about my depression, self-harm, etc. without my mom knowing? Now, I've answered these questions in the past, and I'm just going to keep kind of going over some of these because I know some of you are new to my channel. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And I hope that, you'll go searching through my channel for other questions because chances are I've probably done them, but I know it's hard with FAQs because we can't always find all the questions. And I'm trying to figure out a way to work that out, but I'll get back to you. So, this is kind of wishy-washy. From what I've heard, most likely they'll tell your parents. Now, I know that really sucks, but that doesn't negate the fact that we need help and we need support, and it can be wonderful and it can really turn our life around. Oftentimes, if you're honest and open with your therapist, you can ask them not to tell your parents and say, I'll let you know if I'm at risk of hurting myself or someone else. I'll always tell you, and just be honest with them. Oftentimes they'll forego, like someone like me. I don't always tell parents unless I feel like it's really, really necessary. But you can also, if you're not comfortable talking to them in general and you want to just know up front, you can ask, what are your privacy policies? And they have to tell you. So you can ask, I'm just curious if what I tell you is going to go right to my parents, and they'll answer. So I would ask that. And if any of you have experience with this that you think would be helpful, let us know and share it below, okay? Question number 2. How do I deal with situations at school/work where I have to be around food? Now, I got a lot of questions about this in all various situations where we're having this event and that event and whatever. And we have holidays coming up, and holy moly, there's so much stuff. It's so overwhelming, right? So what do? It's really tricky. Now, please, please, please don't cancel. Don't miss out on all the events. A lot of these are like, kind of fundraising events. And like one of the people was like, helping out children who are in need. And we don't want to miss out on all that, right? We don't want to let our eating disorder run our life and ruin all the nice, happy things that are going on in the holiday time. I always have my clients sit down and we work out a plan. Oftentimes we know, if we've asked or people have been talking about, what kind of food is going to be there and what the setup is like. Are we sitting down? Is it plated? Is it a buffet? Is it appetizers? Is it alcohol? What is it? What type is it? Where am I going? Do I have to get dressed up? What's the whole ordeal? So let's get all that information so we can create a plan. And then I work with my dietitian and nutritionist that's working with my clients. We work hand in hand to come up with a plan for the meal that night. Okay, so they're serving, these kinds of appetizers and that. So we put together a meal so that you feel safe and it's okay. We're expecting it. If you don't have a dietitian or nutritionist, I would encourage you to get one. But I always tell my clients, just have 4 or 5 things. If it's appetizers, have 4 or 5 appetizers. If it's a plate and we're going to a buffet, go once, get what you want, don't go back. And if food makes you uncomfortable, it's a certain fear food, now's not the time to have it and to try to overcome it. Now is the time to just get through this evening and enjoy it. So pick foods that are more safe for you. If it's a potluck, bring something that you made and eat that. There's nothing wrong with that. And then we know what's in it and we can still participate, right? Because I think on the therapy side, my biggest deal with my clients, I want them to enjoy it. I want you to be present and I want you to experience it. I don't want you to feel left out or have to go someplace else in your mind to keep you, safe and healthy and happy. So those are just some tips and tricks. And for any of you who have some tools that you use and things that have worked for you, let us know and let's share. Because those are just some things that I work on with my clients. Now, 3rd question. How do you deal with seeing your sexual abuser at family events in general? Is it weird that I feel obligated to still love her and forgive her like nothing happened? I feel guilty for having animosities with her. This is really tricky. And around the holidays, we're stuck seeing people that we don't want to see oftentimes. And I don't know. It's up to you. There are a couple options. Option number 1 is that you don't go. You come later. You come earlier when you know that this person won't be there. I have some clients that have to do that because their family won't recognize the fact that they were abused by this person. If you haven't told people that this happened, I would encourage you to maybe speak up and tell your mother or your father or somebody who is supportive and loving and helpful, because you shouldn't have to have them around. They just shouldn't be invited because they're scum of the earth and I hate them. But if that's not possible, like I said, you can work your schedule around. Or the second option that works for a lot of my clients is bring in a friend. If they don't have an event that night, bring them along. And if they do, bring them like in a text form. So you can text them, you can get on Keek, you can talk, whatever, so that you have someone that's supporting you. Drive yourself if you can, and know that you can get away whenever you need a break. If you check out my old video from like when I first started, like way back, I have one about surviving the holidays, and I talk about getting away and taking a break. And that's something that you can do too if you start to feel overwhelmed. And maybe journal and prepare a little bit. Work with your therapist on this so that you go in feeling as good as you possibly can about the situation, and you're better prepared and you have some support on hand. Okay? Question number 4. How do we handle visible scars when everyone thinks that you've already stopped self-harming? That's really tricky, and people don't always understand that it's a process and it's not perfection, that relapse is very common and we're going to struggle before we, soar. Nobody started training one day and then got an Olympic gold medal. It's a process, right? We have to start from somewhere and we have to work towards it. So I either have my clients cover it up, especially it's wintertime. Wear your sweaters, wear your pants, wear your long everything. Just cover it up. Or bracelets help. It depends on where you self-harm also and how you self-harm. Bracelets help. There's also a lot of scar creams to help heal the ones that are there, like Mederma, bio oil, stuff like that. There are also many concealers out there that are really helpful if any of you have one. I know there's one at MAC that really works. There's one for, I believe it's like for burns, and you can get it at Sephora, and it works really well too. There are a lot of options for things, and if any of you have some tips on that as well, leave it below. But know that you're not alone. I would also encourage you, if you have a supportive family, just to talk about the fact that it's really hard and that it is a process, and let them know so that they don't think, oh, shit, everything's back to the way it was, when it's not. It's just we're having a tough time, we're coming out of it, we're fighting it, and we'll get through it. Sometimes it helps for us to let them know so that they don't take it to a certain point where it doesn't need to be, if that makes sense. Okay? I hope that helps. Question number 5. Is it possible for someone to be hypomanic, but instead of feeling euphoric, you feel irritable, restless, and sped up? Thank you. Yes. Now, if any of you are wondering what hypomania is, check out my bipolar video. I did a video about bipolar, and I'm going to do more. So that's kind of why I wanted to answer this, because stay tuned. I'm putting out more about bipolar soon, as well as dissociation. And there's 3 others. I'm filming more, and so those will be going up. Mania and hypomania can feel different for everybody, but it sounds like what you're talking about may be what we call a mixed episode. And if you Google that, you'll see that it's almost like we're depressed and manic at the same time, and it's fighting. And so we feel really irritable and edgy and aggressive, and it can be really uncomfortable internally, because it's like we're depressed, but we're really energized. And so it can come out with a really irritable, aggressive feeling. And that is very common. I would speak with your psychiatrist and tell them how you're feeling. And there are a lot of medications that can help with that are actually for people who struggle with that specific type of bipolar. Okay? Journal topic. So today has just been a shitty day, and I just had a bad day. Do you ever just have those days? Like, I woke up and Sean got a parking ticket, so he's all pissed, and then I was upset about it, and then it got me in a funk, and then I had to work, and I was just running late, and things were frazzly, and then I was pulling my car into a parking spot, and I heard this bang, and then I look out, and I'm like, who the hell left an empty wine bottle in a parking spot? Like, what's wrong with you? So I drove over, and then I was like, holy shit, I got a flat tire. Anyways, needless to say, you don't need to hear about my shenanigans, but it's not all puppy dogs and roses over here either. We all have shitty days. And so, today, I thought this journal topic would be good. And it says, if you want to change another person, right? Because I get frustrated. And I'm like, why did that person cut me off? And God damn it, why is that person doing that? And we get really all frustrated with people. But if you want to change another person, first change your own heart. When you change others around you, or when you change, others around you will change. And I found that to be so true, because after this, and I went into Trader Joe's to get some groceries, and I was really friendly to the guy at the counter. I was like, hi, did you have a happy holiday? And blah, blah, blah. And he was so friendly and so nice, and it just totally switched my mood around. So if you're feeling really down and you're wanting to change other people because you're like, you make me crazy, we can't change them, right? We can only change ourselves. So you can avoid them if they're bad and they're toxic and we don't want to be around them. Or you can just be friendly to a stranger. They can brighten your day, hopefully lift your mood. And then we go on, right? And we don't stay down in that shitty hole that I was in today. I got out of it. And now I'm vlogging. And then I'm going to go eat some dinner. So I hope you all do the same. Have a wonderful evening. Tomorrow is Friday. And I'll be on Facebook. So ask your questions and I'll find them there and I'll see you then. Bye.